Monday, it's GameCity, and now live from the antenna in Nottingham, it's Cara and Keith's Power Lunch.
On today's show, we have super special guests Martin Hollis, Jonathan Smith, and Mark McKeague, and Yuri Suzuki from Dentaku.
So come this way, join us. Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming today to the event. It's great to see you all. My name is Keith Stuart, and here is
Cara, Ellison, who is gaming new Lauren Laverne.
She just came up with that, and
I basically said to you that you're the new Eamon Holmes.
Yeah, I'm gaming Eamon Holmes for all the purposes of today and the rest of the week. So the format is today we're going to be speaking to a couple of special guests that we have with us on the sofa. So I'd like to introduce Martin Hollis and Jonathan Smith.
Hello.
So the reason we have you both here today is that you are both contributing games to the Old Market Square. Has anyone been to Old Market Square here yet and seen the massive screen games? Yeah. Excellent. There are two. Actually, Beth, let's get you to explain what the heck is going on.
What's going on? Well, most years they have a huge tent. I think they call it a marquee in the square. But this year they decided, why not open it out some and create a little bit of a living room atmosphere in Nottingham Market Square. So they have two. I mean, they really are commanding screens.
More commanding than you, Martin?
They're certainly bigger than mine. They're 5 metres along, 3 metres high.
I don't
They do move. And they're fantastic. So there are 2 of them, and they move around of their own accord every night.
Just slowly moving around the...
Yeah, that's right.
Pixies or fairies involved? I don't know. Some magic happens.
I love your grasp on the technology mind.
And they're in a different position each day of the week.
And so you have both designed games for this. How do you begin the process of designing a game for 2 enormous screens in a town centre?
Well, the original plan was that they would be in different places every night. So we got a list of where the places were and picked the ones that seemed most extraordinary, and then created an experience that fitted that unique installation. So I've got a game called Crisis Panic Team, where teams of 2 people are put in a confined space with 2 giant screens flanking them. So they're right in the middle of the 2 screens, looming high above them with giant washes of colour attacking them from the sky as they valiantly try to defend themselves for as long as they can, which will be about 2.5 minutes.
Well, that, you know, we're journalists by trade, and that Crisis Panic Team sounds like quite a sensationalist headline there.
Well, because what happens is you die at the end of every game, unfortunately. It's all to the tune of Mozart's Requiem.
Right.
So as the red mist descends, Desiree plays very loudly, in public, with everyone walking past. And then the beauty of the game is that you become a ghost. So I'll take a photograph of you, and then for future players, at the moment of your death, at the time that you died, you will appear in the game and help them out. So over the course of the day, scores should be improving as everyone dies and helps the people that come after them.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's kind of got a sort of a Demon Souls type feel.
Exactly, it's basically Demon Souls Whack-A-Mole. I think that was the concept.
That sounds like Dark Souls 2, maybe. And Martin, yours is very different, isn't it? Because you've taken some of the elements from some of the games you've worked on before, i.e. kind of a shooting interface, but turned it into shooting for love. That's how it works, isn't it?
I don't know. That was my thought process. You know, I mean, Ian said to me, we've got 2 enormous screens in the market square. Do you want to make a game? So, no immediate ideas. Had a bad night's sleep, and then the next day, I just had this idea came to me. I don't know where it came from, really. And
it was me. I phoned you up. It whispered in your ear.
Yeah, maybe that's the answer. And it doesn't use one configuration of screens. Really what it uses is the largeness of the screens and the market square and the fact that a lot of people are coming into the market square for a wide range of reasons. So it relies on a little critical mass of people to come in there. So we had our first test of this yesterday at 5:30, and despite my anxiety and some doubts from some other people on the periphery, everything went really well, and a large number of people had a really good time, and the mechanics of the game basically work. So we're going to be doing this every night with wherever the screen can.
So how does it actually work? So you use one camera, is that correct? Two cameras?
Two cameras.
Two cameras.
Two cameras, two players, two screens.
And is the camera is controlled by you?
No. So in the design of the game, I've removed myself.
Okay.
Right, okay.
How do you do that? How do you remove the designer from the game, Martin?
Does that ever really
Does that ever happen?
No is the honest answer. But some games you play them and you feel the hand of the designer like very strongly in the game, and you can say it's a very strongly designed game, or it feels very designery. And other games, it's kind of the god of the game is much more invisible and behind the scenes and behind the scenes and behind the scenes. So that's where I am. What happens
But
is,
you are still God, fundamentally. In that metaphor.
I'm sympathetic to the hypothesis that there's something egotistical about making games.
Right. I thought it was the hypothesis that you might actually be God.
Yeah. I should have to say it. Incredibly
Yeah.
So, but the idea of the game is that it's almost, because I thought in my head it was GoldenEye meets Blind Date.
It's really.
Oh my gosh, that's the best game.
Maybe I should pitch it exactly like that.
There's three people on stools and you just shoot them.
But the feel of it is much more schmaltzy and romantic and safe and comfortable, and honestly it's cheesy. There's like a huge pink heart on each of the two screens, and then live video behind that. So,
But I think what we both found is that being put in public on these giant screens has really created possibilities for play that we haven't thought of under any other circumstances.
there's no way that I would have had this idea in any other circumstance than someone ringing up saying, we've got two enormous screens in the market square, do you have any idea?
Yeah, so it's great. So it's been really, really fun to actually participate in that process.
Have you learned about the ways that people interact with games? Have you learned new things about the ways people interact with games? Because I often think that in some ways being a gamer, playing a game, has a little bit of a performance element to it. You're wanting to show off as you're playing. So do you find that?
Totally. It changes the dynamic of how you play a game if you know someone's watching you, doesn't it?
It does, but we wouldn't normally think about that so much when we're making games. For many years I've been working on Lego games, and they're meant to be played two people together, so there's a sense of participation, but not a sense of audience. When we observe people playing, and you'll see parents watching, or siblings or friends watching, you may catch a glimpse of it, but you never articulate to yourself, oh yeah, games can be about audience. Whereas for being in the market square here, so big, so bright, that's what this has got to be about. And then you're reminded that, oh yeah, it can be like that for other games, which again is part of being here, to be reminded of things that can then apply in other contexts.
And it's also sort of a mass multiplayer game, both of your games. And isn't that interesting, the way that people relate to each other on that level? Essentially they're playing, in person. A lot of the games that we play now are just online, but this is like mass multiplayer in person.
Well, we're both gonna have, we had last night interactions between friends in the market square, interactions between people who are friends of friends, interactions between people who clearly had never met each other, interactions between people who didn't want to be friends. I'm going to iterate this game a little bit every day, and one of our ideas is maybe we're going to give people a goal to find two people in the market square who would make good enemies.
Wow.
It's like a random goal.